I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All I have for announcements is the Memorial Day Parade on Monday. If you are marching in the parade, be there at 8:30 to line up. And it kicks off at 9 a.m. right here to the Eddy Building for a ceremony. So that's Monday morning at 9 a.m. Public comment. Ms. Ryder.
Lynn Ryder, Burgess Road. I didn't know if you had been informed or not, but the Preservation Society got permission from Champlin to use the leftover money from the side of the townhouse to redo the roof. And it's,
Yeah, we already.
you already knew. Well, I know, but it's actually got approved.
Oh, it's on their side.
Yeah, it
Thank you.
did get approved
Okay.
by them.
Thank you.
And they'll, as soon as they contact Bill Gould and
Right.
know his schedule, he'll get in touch probably with Sue.
Thank you.
Good, that's great.
All right. Consent agenda.
Make a motion, we accept the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Oh, I apologize. James Barentine is excused for tonight's meeting. Old business. Police Station Building Committee. All right, we had a meeting. They submitted their cost and we're about 7.5% over what we have to spend on it. So we're going through the plans now, seeing what we can make it a day 2 item or take it off or try to minimize some of the work between concrete and building. So we have another meeting on the 29th. And we're going to present that to NEC, which is the contractors. And then we're going to come to an agreement. Then we'll come back to the town council and vote on an approval for that number. But like I said, we're about 7.5% over what we need to spend on that. Are there any questions? The police building committee? Questions? No. Welcome to Foster Signs. So I submitted this back when we didn't have a town planner. They've been in storage, if you're unaware. They've been in storage for a long time. I want to get these up as soon as possible. It's not really easy working with Rhode Island DOT. And so after I submitted everything online, I got approval through the engineering. Once I got to permitting, they needed more information. So I had given them already the plans, the layouts, all the GPS locations of the 9 signs that we're putting up, minus the planters, because they said they're not breakaway. You can't put the planters in. They still needed more information. Well, now we have a very good town planner. So I passed the buck. So now it's over with the town planner. He's taking it from there. He's going to reach out to the engineering on Rhode Island DOT. He actually did it twice already and they haven't come back to him yet. But so we're still in the process of doing that. We're going to get him up. We're going to get him up. And if I have to call the Gene Valicenti show when Mr. Alvidi's on, I might have to do that. But we're going to get him on. Yes, Ms. Ryder.
Contacting the DOT was supposed to happen back in October 2023. I have the minutes and it says the DPW director said he would get approval from DOT. So I don't know what happened after that.
I think after that,
Yeah.
planning took it over and they ordered all the materials and there is a design change to the
Yeah, we had a
signs
design
as
change.
well. They
Yeah.
can't have flower boxes under them, according to DOT.
Right, on November 9th, it came up again and it listed all of the materials that needed to be gotten.
So
But-
originally, when the planner was supposed to do all the arrangements.
Mm.
And he, on his own, ordered all the material without Gordon's knowledge. So we have a bunch of material that we're probably not gonna use.
Yep.
Yeah, because I remember correctly, I think it was based on Coventry's design.
Mhm.
Everything was based on
Right.
Coventry's design.
I know that Denise wanted all of the materials listed in the minutes. The timbers, the landscape box, the lag screws, all of that.
I don't know
Um,
if we actually ended up with that list, but there's, to my knowledge, we have way more material than we needed.
Yeah, we definitely.
Yeah, that didn't sound like, Grant was pretty,
He left and unfortunately, he didn't leave information on the design or whether or not DOT had been contacted or anything like that. So,
Because I know I went back into my system before I actually
Mm.
applied for the permit this year. And I couldn't find much information besides those minutes.
right,
Yeah,
right. I just never saw where it was passed off to Grant. I
Okay.
did see where it said that the planner and the DPW director would work together. But after that, I don't see anything.
yeah, I think that had to do, because we continued that, so I think that still has to do with DPW actually working on the installation
mhm.
due to cost. They were gonna do the installation. They agreed on that. That might have been that part of it, where they're working together. But I wasn't there at that point, so I'm not sure. Any other questions on the Foster signs? No, good. There's obviously no action on that. New business, we have an approval for an independent auditor for fiscal year 25.
So every year we have to have an audit. And have you seen this contract, Joanna, from Bacon and Company?
Yes,
Okay, everything looks to
yes,
be in order.
and I think we do need to sign. I did speak to Kelly about this.
Yeah. Okay. Steve needs to sign or Kelly needs to sign?
Steve should sign.
Okay. All right. I will make a motion to approve the finance director's request to extend the contract for Bacon and Company for the annual audit for 1 year at a cost of $40,000 with the approval of the Auditor General and authorize council president to sign the contract.
Second,
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any questions?
No.
Any questions? No questions?
No.
All in favor?
aye,
I
Opposed?
Hi,
Sorry, Catherine.
that's okay. Yeah, I know, Steve.
All right, that motion passes. Foster preservation request for signs. I never received information on, do you have the? Because I know he said he was gonna send information to me to put into Sugar Sync. So you just have the general,
He's out of the country at the moment,
Okay.
so,
yeah,
Um,
locations.
as far as I know, I haven't heard any different. We just needed permission for the Shippey Schoolhouse in that triangle, if you've ever seen it. Probably on the east side of the tree, because,
Placement.
no, these are new, like, green, you've seen the one at the front of the police station, in front of the townhouse. Yeah, we did that through a Thrive grant
Okay.
several years ago. And now we're trying to go back, if we can, to the old school locations.
Okay,
And there was one, because the Shippey Schoolhouse in East Killingley the configuration didn't look like it does now. But now there's a triangle, and someone planted a big pine tree in the middle of the triangle, and Walter Grass very nicely on the other side of the tree put up, had a big rock saying this is where the Shippey Schoolhouse was, and there's a bell, which was stolen and then replaced. And but you can't see it from where most people go. So we'd like to put one there. And the other one that John Lewis mentioned, and I don't quite understand this, is at Pontigansett. It's on Central Pike. Is that-
Yeah,
I
that big
think-
rock, he said.
Yeah, there's a big
Yeah.
rock. And then up behind it was the school. But my understanding, he said that was town land, but I thought that was state land because that's, up behind it is the waterfall. So
Hmm.
I don't know.
Okay.
But if you want to give permission.
How
I
big
mean-
are the signs, Lynn?
Out there, they're like this.
It's the same sign.
Yeah,
that- yeah.
same sign as out there. They're not huge.
And what are they gonna say? Just
It'll
location?
just say, location of
Right, okay.
former, Pontiac one-room schoolhouse built in
Hmm.
and, demolished by,
Yeah,
and that's all. But it's just part of, preservation's, one of their mission statements is to, help foster, community
Yeah.
and make people aware.
Hmm.
So.
I'd make a motion to approve the request of Foster Preservation to put signs at the Shippey Schoolhouse site. And at it was Pontiac.
Yeah,
school.
it's right, it's across from the end of Kate Randall Road,
It's right near Kate.
Sort
Randall
of.
Road, That you,
Right,
oh,
right.
Central.
The name of the school
Central-
was.
was
Pontiac.
Pontiac, yeah.
Okay. For Pontiac, provided that it is on town property.
Yeah.
Right, and I
It's-
mean,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be up off the road,
Yeah,
so I don't know how far up, because then nobody will see it, but,
I think just provided that it's on town
yeah,
property
because that
is-
covers.
Yeah.
covers us, yeah.
Yeah.
okay, good.
Okay, so we have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. Any other discussion?
No,
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Right. Recognition of Juneteenth as a holiday. So this obviously is a federal holiday, and last year became a state holiday, official state holiday. I think, in my opinion, we should recognize it in Foster as a holiday. We pay it anyways. But I could either entertain a motion or discussion, or motion then discussion.
I'll make a motion, we recognize Juneteenth as a holiday.
Second,
Okay, part of the, and well, discussion. And part of this obviously is if it's contractual, we'll have to revisit that when it comes to the contracts. Okay, so these are the non-contractual in town hall.
Mm.
All right, any other discussion? All in favor?
aye.
Opposed?
Is that on the record, Steve?
It's a record. It's a record.
Oh, we still got executive.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, where are we
Yeah.
at? Am I under the same? Yes. Okay, I move to go into executive closed session pursuant to Rhode Island General Laws 42-46-51 for discussions and work session, sorry. What one am I on? I'm in the second one, trying to see this. Am I in the first one, Joanna, or? I'm serious, I hate this. Ever since-
Two.
Two, okay, all right, yeah, I was going with the right one. For discussions or work sessions regarding collective bargaining, contract negotiations, or litigation. According to Rhode Island General Laws 42-46-5A2, and to reconvene an open session, and further to keep the minutes of said meeting closed and the minutes of all executive sessions held previous to this meeting be closed and remain to provisions of the general laws of Rhode Island 42-46-4 and 5.
Second.
Thank you.
We have a motion in a second. All in favor?
Ever since
Aye.
All right,
blood pressure spike.
we are,
do that.
did I?
Yeah, that's.
Must be
it's
Joanna.
Wow.
Yeah.
I told you.
I didn't.
No, I think we're good. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I don't think there's anything for you.
An early night for you, Tyler. Yeah.
People have signed up for that community Community gun safety class for the youths.
You wanna take,
You have to ask Dennis, if he's running, I
clear out,
Mhm.
take state court first, because they're here.
Oh, okay.
Yep, we can, yep.
So,
All right, so if you're not part of the executive session, you're gonna need to
Yeah.
leave, please.
See ya.
If you want to come back after the executive session, we'll let you know. If you wait outside, we'll come get you to come back in.
Yeah, okay. I move to reconvene into public open session to announce any votes taken during executive closed session that must be disclosed as required under Rhode Island General Laws 42-46-4.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to come out. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we are out of executive session. There were no votes and no motions taken in executive session. So I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned. Thank you. On vacation.